Well, hello, my little potato, you beautiful soul. Oh, you know me, I always like to start off with I love you, so I love you. I don't know why that was so funny. It is 3:49 in the morning. I unpacked and I brushed my teeth and I washed my face and I did my skincare and all that. I didn't have a lot to unpack, to be fair, because I wasn't gone for very long, but still. Um, And if I feel like I'm kind of delirious, and I think it's because I've been up like basic, I've been up almost 24 hours. And I say that because when I woke up, no, wait, no, I wasn't. And it's not 24 hours. It was 6:30 it was 6:30 California time, which was 8:30 a.m. here. So not quite 24 hours. Well, like 20. Um, I was like, why? But I was like, my brain feels like it's going on fast forward, and I don't like that feeling. Um, Tomorrow, what do I have tomorrow? I have meetings tomorrow. Uh, like, what month am I in? I'm in July. I am in July. July. Tomorrow, I have a meeting at 1:45. Okay. I was worried that I was like, it was 11:45, but it's at 1:45. And then after that's done, then I have another call. So, um, and then I need to go to my dad's office one day this week because I need to do the printouts of my stuff. So then that way I can be set up for leaving on Thursday to go to New Orleans. And let's just go. So this morning it was like Sunday. My dad was like, hey, let's wake up, you know. And then he was, I guess, because we went to sleep at like 6:30, I'm going to take my melatonin. Because now my sleep schedule is definitely going to be all jacked up again. I'm not going to be able to sleep. So good thing I got good at swallowing pills. Let me see. Yeah, we woke up and I was just like laying in the bed. He's like, gotta get up. And he was like reading. He was like doing his own Bible study. And then we went and had breakfast until we came back. And then we went down there and like it was so nice because we all had bags. And so the place where you check in your bags with, I was like, okay, so how much is this? They're like, it's free. And I'm like, it is? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, wow. And I was like so kind, like what a great amenity. Because like most places they charge the out the wazoo for that. So it's like, okay, so that was kind. And we went then there was the meeting. Then there was like, the talk and everything. And then during that talk, after that talk, what happened after the talk? Oh yeah, I left a little bit early because I was like, dude, I have to go to the restroom. And since I'm gonna be up, I'm gonna go ahead and go get the bag. So then. And then I went and sat outside Haagen-Dazs and waited for them, and then called the Uber, and we like went down to go have lunch. Went to the Chinese buffet. I had the first plate. I think I had four plates, but the plates are little. And the first plate was like all sashimi. And then the second plate was like pot stickers and sushi and green beans and like big stalks of Chinese broccoli. I think the third plate was like I don't know. I feel that I don't I know the dessert plate was like watermelon and pineapple There was watermelon, there was pineapple, strawberries with like a glaze. Those would turn out really good. Yeah. And then, I ate a lot there. And then, got on the plane. No, we got to the airport, went to the plane, and the plane left late. And then it arrived so late. We had to like run across I didn't run across the airport, but I walked very quickly across the airport because I was concerned because we were actually originally boarding group 2, so I was concerned that I would be boarding group 8 and I would have to check my bag, and I didn't want to check my bag. So I walked as quickly as possible. And then I almost got in a fight with these people because I was like, because they were like kind of in the aisle, and I was like, so are you not going? And I was like, okay, so you must be here. And they're like, no, we have a flight to catch. And I'm like, well, if you have a flight to catch, you sure don't act like you're in a hurry. I think they were mad, and I was like, what? It's true. If you're in a hurry, if you're actually in a hurry, you would have hurried. You guys are moseying along, so don't tell me you're in a hurry. You would have, if I was in a hurry, I would have already taken my bag down from the top. I wouldn't have, been waiting. And so, because the flights were tight, there was like 2 people that were like, they're like, yeah, my plane leaves in like 8 minutes. But I mean, if they know you're coming from another plane, they do wait for you. I mean, you're not supposed to like wait forever, but they do wait for you. Um, and then the plane got back at like 2. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I did this. Somehow I made the reservation for the parking place, and I ended the reservation on like, I somehow meant to end it on tonight, but I ended it on Sunday. I ended it on Saturday night, Sunday morning instead, so we had to pay $9. But I mean, still, it was still cheaper than what it would have been, so it was fine. But oops. Um, Unfortunately, I was with my dad, and he was like, "It's okay, it's still inexpensive." So that was good. And then it was funny because when we were at lunch, the man was like, the man was like having everybody introduce himself, and my dad's like, "Oh, this is my daughter," and the man goes, "That's your daughter?" He goes, "You have a daughter?" And I was like, "Hi," and he goes, I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's my daughter. That's my," I was like, "That's my dad." He goes, "You have a daughter?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I know your mom." And I said, "Well, sometimes dad and daughter, dad and mom make daughter." And everybody kind of laughed. So it was kind of funny. And then later on, he's like, "Anything else?" I was like, "I have 3 other siblings as well, because dad and mom made 3 other siblings. So, whatever." And then I was talking to this lady. There was this lady sitting at the table with us, and ended up talking to her, and she was like, and I was like, I don't think people understand that, like, I used to think I was kind of like an extrovert, like an extroverted introvert. But the more time that goes on, I'm not. I'm like, I can be extroverted if I need to be, but mostly that's not me, you know? Like, that's just not me. I'm like, I'm a writer. Writers are like people who are like, writing is generally not a group activity. It's something you do on your own. And I work on being better and do things, but like, I'm still a solitary person. Like, everything I do is solitary, you know? But there's a lot of things that are coming up. And I text my classmates today, and I was like, "Hey, my mentor and I were talking," and she's like, "What are you guys going to do when you graduate?" And I was like, are we still going to meet? Is it going to go into monthly, or are we going to bi-weekly? And they're like, "No, we're still meeting weekly." I was like, "Okay, good. I like that. I just didn't know." And they're like, "Yeah, we talked about it yesterday." I was like, Thanks for cluing me in, buddies. So even when school's done, we'll still be meeting weekly, which is good. And then so that's a positive. And then there's some things that I'm gonna be applying to, like some I sent my Instagram has like so many things that I sent myself to work on. So I need to go through my Instagram, I need to go through my email, and I have a call tomorrow at 1:45 and things, and now it's like 4 o'clock, and I'm like, ooh. Um, but I'm working on like reprogramming subconscious, um, maybe voice work, um, definitely some stories, because writing, because I haven't written in a while, and there's and then TED Talk. The people who do TED Talk are doing a grant for like artists, and like if I can get my piece in, and you never know, right? And so there's that. And then I was thinking about applying to, there was one, I was like applying for voice work. And I was like, man, if I could get a voice work I mean, like, that would be, come on, it'd be great. Cause like a voice contract can be like some money. And like that would be so helpful to me right now. And I know my dad, he really wants me to do the financial planning thing. And he's like, oh, it's because you're smart at it and you're good you're good at things and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I just had that talk with my mentor about how being good at something can get you trapped. I don't want to be like, just because I'm good at something doesn't mean that that's what I want to do. Like, and and it's such a hard thing too, because I was thinking about, as I was brushing my teeth, the advice is do what you're good at. And like, or do what you like, right? And like, what if what you're good at and what you like are two different things? Like, I'm good at math. Does that mean I want to be an accountant? Hell no. HE double hockey sticks. No, I don't want to. I would never want to be an accountant. That's what you hire them for. And all of those things. And I'm working on getting away from that. But and also, in order for me to, honestly, I have to be able to make a living at whatever it is that I'm doing, so that I don't need support from anyone. And at the current moment, I don't have that. And if I were to be able to have that, where I was, if once I could get to the point, like, okay, first of all, let's start with a 3-digit month, and then I need to go to 4 digits, and then a 5-digit month, and a 6-digit month, right? And if I can get to a 3-digit month right now, because right now I don't really have a lot of money, I don't know, like, so a 3-digit month is 900, is up to $999. And then a 4-digit would be like anywhere between $9,999, right? So we'll just go that. And then a 5-digit month would be 99,999. And then a 6-digit, so on and so forth. A 6-digit $999,999 would be amazing, right? Because then you're like, how much money do you make a month? And I'm like, $1 short of a million every month. And like, I would be doing pretty well, and my parents would be off my back, and like, and then that dad would be like, oh, there might be something to your writing. So I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what's gonna happen. There's so many, very many possibilities. So as always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to me, because they be long sometimes, and I'm tired, and I still do it. I still got it. So Thank you again for listening. I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.